So is anybody familiar with the Dragonball multiverse? Wow.
Yeah.
A little bit. That's good. So,
Like Marvel, I would say.
What are you going to show that Logan that was released in Japan was going to have another cake? I don't know.
oh, that's
The
last.
transmission.
Alright. Yeah.
Alright, so recently we also had the artist for it, Gogeta Jr. He actually left and stopped working with it, so they had to get a replacement. He went off to do other stuff, you know, because he's been doing it for a long time. This kind of sucks, and I feel like the art went downhill a little bit until I think just recently they got somebody that's good, I thought. So this takes place 10 years after Z for the story, but it completely obliterates GT, so if you're a fan of GT, I'm sorry.
That's the movie. GT has fans?
Of course.
Yeah, all one of them.
Everyone knows that.
So yeah, there's it's pretty good. It's 31 chapters. It might not seem a lot because it's a lot of pages that are drawn one at a time.
Yeah.
What's going on recently right now? They're doing a special, a story for future Goku or future Gohan fighting Majin Buu. Like he ends up, I guess, hiding away from 17 and 18, and actually bumps into Bobby D and Dybora and ends up fighting them in like a whole different way.
Did I hear that right?
You have you read it?
I haven't read it in a while.
Yeah, like right now they're on a special. They're not on the main storyline right now.
Yeah.
They're showing what the future Gohan future was like.
So pretty much like
True
what
fans
is.
read it.
Yeah.
Oh no, no,
It
of
is
course.
in my.
All right, so now I want to talk about the universes. There's the Universe 7 is with the Super Namek, which is Nail and Guru fused together, and a bunch of other Namekans as well during the Frieza saga, because they, Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin actually arrived late, and when Frieza was attacking the village, they all Nail decided to fuse with Guru because he was going to die anyway, and ended up forming him. And he's so strong that he actually went to Earth to fight Cell and the Bobby D's and Dybora, Majin Buu, like all those guys as well. Next up is the Earth here. Let's see if it comes up. Alright, in this universe is where Goku never came. It's mostly every human has become like ridiculously more powerful. I don't see how that would work. But it's kind of cool because Krillin's pretty much the Goku of the series because he's mastered the turtle hermit style. He's knows how to do Kaioken, and so does Videl. That's actually Trunks, but he's a human. And Yamcha is actually Android 17 for this universe. Like that's why he's he needs a boost in power.
That's how he's.
It is.
That's exactly how you.
And that's why he's still also young looking because everybody else is older.
Artificial little things there.
And then we got introduced to the future Trunks. What happened to him afterwards? He ends up getting Android 16 after the Cell Saga.
Right.
Mama, you ain't looking so good.
Oh, sorry. Well, this is
I missed that.
You didn't see this, or?
No, I missed what you said about this part.
Oh, it's just the future Trunks story. It's pretty much the Trunks that we're all familiar with. And when he goes back after he's defeated the androids and Cell, he ends up awakening Android 16 to help, rebuild the Earth and stuff. And for him, it's funny because he ends up meeting our Dragon Ball Z characters not that long afterwards. This is the Super Saiyans, where the same thing happens except Goku never bumps his head, and he ends up going through Dragon Ball, like killing everybody like he's supposed to. And when Raditz arrives, Raditz picks him up, and they end up going to Planet Namek to get the Dragon Balls because Goku's already killed Kami and Piccolo on Earth. And the Namek saga plays out pretty much the same. The only difference is with the 4 characters. From what I've read, supposedly Goku becomes Super Saiyan a lot earlier. Like when he fights Ginyu, he becomes Super Saiyan. But I don't understand the way they explain the power level for it. It's just, he becomes Super Saiyan, but he's not strong enough to beat Frieza, but Vegeta ends up becoming Super Saiyan to beat Frieza and killing him no problem. But during this whole fight, like they all become ridiculously more powerful because they have to fight, Frieza's men, the Ginyu Force, all the way up until Frieza finally is like, all right, I'm gonna take care of this. Pretty much all the characters are exactly the same. except Vegeta's more calmer, and Goku is actually a more berserk type of character. Like he's pretty much.
He was born next to Broly. He didn't bump his head. What's the thing?
Well, he bumped his head afterwards, so
If he,
you know. But he pretty much like. I guess yeah, he's a little bit like Broly. He does get like when he does get mad, he gets like berserk and uncontrollable, and pretty much his power is
It's like,
maximum.
sorry, Goku, no milk for your cereal. What?
What?
And then we got introduced to another universe is with Vegeta, where he never split up when he was inside Majin Buu. Pretty much like he's like ridiculously overpowered beast. Like
I would imagine.
you know, like for this tournament, and it's really cool how they included that because that's one of my favorite characters for Dragon Ball Z, and the way they ended up meeting again was really cool. I thought. And if you read the book, you would see the awesome fight. I think probably the best fight of the whole series, which is Vegeta versus Broly.
Yeah.
And like, if I can see that animated, I'll be a happy camper. You know.
Yeah, right.
Does he drop
Yup.
one? Does he drop one of the wives or does he keep them both?
So now I'll talk about
He's all grown.
everybody's favorite series that never happened.
Oh yeah.
this is
The Dragon Ball AF is pretty much the joke series that takes place after GT. A lot of this flyer came out back in like April, saying like, oh, of course there's a new Z, but of course if you can read Japanese, nothing in there says anything about the series. It's all gibberish. So I know. But there's actually two people that are doing Dragon Ball AF series, which are really good, I think. This is the Tobal one, and it's actually only 4 volumes long. It's still going, but it hasn't been really much. Pretty much the story is that she ends up meeting Goku when he left planet Namek after the the Frieza saga, and he was on that planet training. And after he was on his way back, he ended up stopping at another planet and meeting her. And after one night, like supposedly she like steals the blood from Goku and ends up having him. Supposedly half God and half Saiyan, so he's technically a Super Saiyan guy if you play like that.
Oh, there you go.
So I really like it. The story, the art, the storyline's pretty solid for like if you're like a continuation of GT. The only thing I don't like, it's still on hiatus, like, which sucks because like pretty much what's going on right now is that everybody Gohan, Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, we're all fighting him. Pretty much we're getting defeated badly. Even Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Gohan becomes Super Saiyan 4 and in that, which is like kind of rushed I felt, but it makes sense because I guess for the storyline for this is that Vegeta can't do Super Saiyan 4 naturally, so he has like a small like ray gun that Bulma made that gives him the brute wave so he can turn into Super Saiyan 4. And after he transforms to fight him, Gohan picks it up and transforms as well because he figures there's nobody else strong enough. So and Vegeta's losing, so he might need backup. So he transforms to beat him. And pretty much what happens is the Supreme Kai ends up coming to Earth to help out, and since nobody can beat him, he tries to seal him up in the Z sword that got repaired after years, and the seal failed, but kind of still sealed him up. So he's trapped in the sword, but he's only going to be in there for a month, and in that month, everybody's going to try to train to get stronger. And at the same time, everybody else is going to try to bring back Goku, even though it pisses off Vegeta for doing it. But the old Kai, he suggests that the only way that can bring back Goku is to bring back the Dragon Balls. But they supposedly say that there's a legend saying that if the 7 golden lights can be brought together, they can revive the Dragon Balls. And what they do is that what they're talking about is the Super Saiyan form. They don't think they had enough, but they find out that secretly Pan and Brawl has been training with each other, and they've unlocked Super Saiyan forms. And Goten and Trunks actually travel to planet Namek to use the Namekian balls to revive Broly. And that right there is kind of a mistake you would think. But the funny thing is, Broly, because he died, since like the 3rd movie, he's way outclassed by everybody in this. Like, he can easily. I'm pretty sure he could beat Goten and Trunks, but because they were fused at the time, they have no problem beating Broly. Vegeta can probably beat Broly on his base form, and so what they do is that until like Broly, calms down, they can explain why they need him, and after hearing why he's needed, he figures like, all right, I'll help you, but it's because I want to, kill Kakarot again, get another chance at it. And of course, Vegeta's like, I don't care, or whatever.
If he stops taking pop rocks,
So, and that's pretty much like what's going on right now. It's still on hiatus, but this other one is still going. Which I like. It's pretty much a slight different take of the story. See, this one is at least 8 volumes long, and consists of like brand new villains. We're introduced to Frieza's son. Yeah, like it makes sense in the way that it was written. Supposedly they added in the plot that says that everybody who's like Frieza, King Cold, Cooler, is that when they're born, they're actually frozen solid, and the longer it takes them to be thawed out, the more stronger they become. Like I think Frieza was 4 years, King Cold was 7 years, and he was actually sealed up for 50 years. And finally wakes up after the whole series, and after that he's a little like, because it took him so long, his skin, the red marks are supposed to be like cracks on his skin because he was so frozen for so long, and it also made him a little crazy that he wants to fight like strong enemies, which is typical in Dragon Ball Z. So he goes planet to planet, and then eventually finds out from one of his henchmen about supposedly that the person that beat him was a Saiyan and lives on Earth. So of course he goes to Earth, and it's Goku's long gone, and he ends up fighting everybody else. Like first person he fights is Vegeta. Like this Vegeta I like because it makes more sense because he's been training after GT. He's trying to pretty much just take over Goku's place and become a hero to defend the Earth on his own terms. Right. So pretty much when he meets Ice, he transforms Super Saiyan 3. Like he finally got the form. Like he can't go 4 because he still needs the waves and stuff. But he goes Super Saiyan 3, they fight, and of course he has multiple forms. This is his final form, and this is his first form. The second form in between is the regular Frieza form. And in the fight, like Vegeta ends up like losing regardless, and what happens is Gohan transforms Super Saiyan 4 the same way, using the brute waves and stuff. But during the fight, Ice tries to kill Gohan, but Pan jumps in the way because she was there, and takes the blast and pretty much just dies instantly. And from that, seeing that, it pretty much is like Krillin dying. It triggers him to become Super Saiyan 5, and he ends up beating Ice with no problem. And after that, like the old Kai suggests that because Goku's gone, you guys have locked new power that you guys will need to learn how to use that form. So Gohan and Vegeta go to the Supreme Kai planet, train to get their tails back just like Goku did in GT. And at the same time, this guy shows up. His name is Marble. He's from the Demon Realm, like Dabur was. And he has a little henchman as well. At the same time, while Vegeta and Gohan are gone, Goten, Trunks, and Oob are training on Kami's palace to train to get stronger. And at the same time, like they figured out that they can do Gotenks. And they do Super Saiyan 4 in the same way, like they fuse, but they use the brute waves on themselves, and they of course have no problem beating this guy, who's like, again, he's a fusion character, so it kind of makes sense how Goten and Trunks are the main characters for that little saga. Like it's only currently like 3 sagas long. The most current one right now is sort of like a revamped version of the evil dragons. I haven't really understood why it's happening, but it seems really interesting. As you can see, we have Gohan and Vegeta. In the current chapters, they finally unlocked Super Saiyan 5. During this fight with one of the dragons, like I don't understand why it happened because it was still in Japanese. Pretty much, like I guess, since he can't beat the dragon, he has no really powered up form. He ends up, I guess, unlocking the evil Majin Buu powers inside of him and transforming into that.
That makes sense.
So that's what pretty much is going on with those characters. I of course will update it, whenever I do another Dragon Ball panel. But if you haven't come across any of this stuff, you can find it on Facebook, Dragon Ball AF. The person that has that page post both versions of these stories. And with this one, what I like was the artist releases his stuff, but it's and it's good. It's like I think 20 pages long, but he releases a extended edition, which an extended edition that expands the story a little bit longer. So pretty much this comes to the last slide, but I want to play this.
Here we go. Oh, God. Yes. Here we go. Greatest episode ever. Oh my God, this video. Everyone.
On the last episode of Dragonball, hey, Virginia acted the Mickey, so now Google and Kristen Stewart must I hope they don't hit each other too hard. Yeah.
Well, it was funny how like everybody changes their pictures on Facebook.
Yeah. All good to you, man.
Shit.
I'm watching the Harry Potter one too. At work, I'm like,
Tidy up, little boys, it's spandex I see. I love you, Virginia, but you can't be doing that, come on. There's no escaping. When I'm through with you, you'll have to be sitting down like a girl. Drew said it, always sprinkles when he tinkles. You know. Yeah, Daddy. Here, faggot. Check the carrot cake. I am real Super Saiyan. Super Pooper Scoopers are just legendary. You'll see, Freezy Pop. I'm stronger than an ant. If an ant was this big. Carrot cake. When I was just a little boy, he didn't invite me to his birthday party. You monster frisbee! Captain Electron, show him what for it means to be Super Saiyan Legend. Freezy Well, I'm glad that's over. 3 seconds there, I thought that... Oh, wow, I guess it really is... Oh! Oh, no! What are you, gay?
yeah.
Buddy, we only have like 50 episodes before Namek explodes. But since you've been a good boy, you can just leave. Go. Get out of here. Ah! He is Super Saiyan lesbian. You did it, Goku.
Oh God.
Every time. It's funny every time. It's funny every time. It really does.
Go to my Facebook page if you want to find out about panels that I do in the future, and also see my artwork, which is what that nothing to do here pictures from.
Yup.
I like to draw a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff. And,
Can't wait to get the shirt, man.
Yeah. But yeah, if you just like me on Facebook, you can also take one of these cards and maybe also this Bonsai Pecan card because it's a very awesome game.
It is.
So
Right
yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
So thanks again for everybody coming out. All right.
Wait.